Hey everyone, I hope you're all doing really well. Today I'm going to be sharing with you a Shop My Stash for the month of December. I am really looking forward to rotating some new products into my routine to use for December because this past month has definitely felt like quite a long month for me. I did pick out a ton of products to focus on in November and I chose them all just because they were things that were inspiring me, things that are my favorites in my collection, but I am going to be going back to my normal kind of routine when it comes to December. So we are going to be rotating some new things in by randomly selecting them, but then I'm also going to do a little Shop My Stash with you. So yeah, let's hop on into some of my reflections and mini reviews of these products that I've been focusing on for the past month. But if you want to, of course, skip ahead and just get right on into my collection with me, I will leave a timestamp down in the description box as well as on the screen here so you can skip ahead and watch the actual Shop My Stash portion of this video. Like I said, I do have a ton of products, however, to share with you, so I just want to go through all the things that I had pulled into my rotation last month. So the first two products I want to talk about are the eyeshadow palettes that I've been reaching for and using. I've been integrating these into a ton of looks. The first one here is the Juvia's Place The Magic Mini palette. This is such a beautiful, beautiful palette. It incorporates a lot of cool and warm tones, and I just feel like the balance is so great with this palette. It's one of my absolute favorites. I'm so happy that I added this to my collection this year after eyeing it up for quite some time. And I used it a lot. I used this shade Faso, the like sort of shifty duochrome-esque kind of purple blue shade, several times this past month and adored it. And the shade Nana I am wearing today. I'm also wearing Nubia today on like the inner portion of my lid and on my lower lash line. And I've just delved into this palette quite a lot. The cooler tone gray shades, I wore those several times because I am wearing, or not wearing, I am using a gray shade in my Pan Those eyeshadows as well. This palette has been truly well loved this past month and it's something that I foresee myself loving on for years to come for sure. And then the other palette I've been using is the Natasha Denona Metropolis palette, which is my newest palette in my collection. It's my newest makeup item in general. Ever since I brought this into my collection, I have been absolutely loving on it. I have now used every single shade at least once. Some of them only one time, but I have used every single shade at least once during this past month and I am so thoroughly and unbelievably impressed with this formula. This color selection is remarkable. It's so beautiful. Again, I had been eyeing this up for quite some time and I'm so happy I finally decided to pick it up. I cannot wait to use this for years and years to come. It's so beautiful. I also wanted to just reach into two like more neutral kind of eyeliners and they just paired so perfectly with both of those eyeshadow palettes. The first one here is the Annabelle Waterline Matte in the shade Khaki. It is what I'm wearing today in my waterline. It's a little bit richer and deeper than I had maybe originally anticipated, but I love the way it looks with my coloring. And this one here is the NYX Slide On, Glide On, Stay On, and definitely a turn on waterproof extreme shine liner in the shade Golden Bronze. This is a beautiful, beautiful metallic eyeliner and it definitely lasts extremely well in my waterline. And again, I think it just works so well with my coloring. It really makes my eyes pop. Now this was one of those things that was not a favorite of mine and I just wanted to roll it in for the chance to kind of play with it and integrate it into more looks. This is the e.l.f. and J. Kissa Suki to My Heart eyeshadow topper. And I have come to have a better appreciation for this product than I did in the past because I've actually truly been using this as a topper this past month, not as a liquid shadow as I was using it in the past, and I was definitely underwhelmed and really unimpressed with it when I was using it as a liquid shadow. But if you just simply take the doe foot applicator and put it onto your ring finger or really any finger and you just then dab it over your eyelid, it has the most beautiful glittery sort of shimmery finish. I am wearing this green shade which is called I'm Pupset. I'm wearing this kind of topped on top of two of the more greeny gold shades from actually both of these palettes. I'm wearing a combination of these two today and this. And I've worn this shade which is called What a Pity Smile. I've worn this with more cool tones and with like purples and blues and pinks, and I love this, but you do have to wear these very, very sheer or else they do crease and they don't have as much amazing impact as they could. Not a favorite product of mine. I have said it in the past, this is something that I kind of wish that I didn't pick up because it was just sort of an impulse sort of purchase. but at least now I have come to appreciate it and I figured out a way that I can make it work. I thought it wasn't working because my eyes are hooded, but it was actually not working simply because I was applying too generous of an application, and you know what? It's not so terrible anymore. The next product I have is the Flower in Your Prime Ultimate Eye Primer. I used this maybe twice, not gonna lie. So that was not really something that I should have maybe shot my stash for. I mean, at least I used it twice, but I just kind of overlooked it because I'm really desperately trying to finish up my Too Faced Born This Way concealer. So I've been using that as my eyeshadow primer almost exclusively. And then I also have been using these two mascaras. I'm gonna keep these in for the next rotation as well. This first one is the Charlotte Tilbury Legendary Lashes Volume 2, and then this one is the CoverGirl Clump Crusher. I'm wearing both of these today in combination, this one on my lower lashes, this one on my upper lashes. This wand is just far too fat and like holds way too much product for me, so I cannot wear this on my lower lashes. Even on my upper lashes, I do find that it's not my favorite formula or look, but I have been getting use out of it since I do have it in my collection, and I will just keep these in the next rotation and try to get these used up within the next like month or so. I pulled in these two brow products in my last rotation. The first one is the Joe Fresh Universal Brow Tint. This is no longer available, and I finally used it through my brows after having this in my collection for probably like 3 years. And I liked it, but now it's dried out. I just have had it far too long. And I did actually take out this end. So I don't know if you know this, but you can do this with some eyeliner formulas and brow pens, but you can just pop this out. And then it does sometimes have another little pointed tip. I hope you can see that there. And then you can just flip it around and hopefully get a little bit more product. I did that a couple times just to hopefully get a little bit more saturation of the product. And now it's just like basically done. So I'm gonna be tossing this into my empties. And the other brow product was the Essence Make Me Brow Eyebrow Mascara, I think they call it. This is in the shade Soft Brownie Brows. It's a good shade match for me. It's what I'm wearing through my brows today, but it's just not my absolute favorite formula. Definitely not bad enough that I would declutter it by any means, but it was good to just rotate it in and be sure to use it in addition to the other brow gels, which I do prefer over it. But it's not a bad product by any means. It's just not my be-all end-all favorite brow gel, but good to get it in the rotation and make use of it. I also rolled in, oh my gosh, 5 lip products. I'm not gonna really talk about all of these that in depth, but the one that I use the most is definitely this Bare Minerals Gen Nude Radiant Lipstick, I believe the name is, in the shade Notorious. This is so beautiful. This is my one of my favorite lip products actually in my collection. I'm wearing it today, but then I put the Colourpop She Bad on top of it, and I like the way that these two pair together because it kind of mutes this rosy tone and makes it a little bit more neutral for me, but it also just amps up a little bit of the coverage, and it gives me an opportunity to use a lip product that I've been focusing on in a project pan that I don't love on its own. But this is just the most delicious lip product in my opinion. I feel like my lips look so plush, and it offers a nice flush of color to my complexion, and it just makes my lips look nice and smooth and juicy and healthy, you know? I love it. I really do love it. And then I pulled another nude lip, which honestly I had kind of overlooked. I kind of forgot about reaching for this. This is the Charlotte Tilbury, I believe this is the Hot Lips in the shade Angel Alessandra. This is kind of like a beige clementine kind of shade. Like it definitely pulls quite orange peachy on me personally, but it still definitely is grounded with that beigey tone. Really comfortable lip product, but like I said, I didn't really reach for it all that much. I was definitely preferring that Bare Minerals one and reaching for that very often. And then I also had pulled in this gorgeous lipstick. This is by Bite. This is unfortunately something that's not available anymore, but this is the Scorpio lipstick, which was from their astrology collection. Oh my God, this color is just fabulous. Last month was my birthday month, and I am a Scorpio, so this shade is just absolute perfection in my eyes. I wore this several times this past month just because it is Scorpio season, or it was Scorpio season, and I just was like feeling this lip. This is so my kind of color. I feel so fierce and so like amazing in this shade. So that was definitely something I was so happy to have in my past rotation. And then I rolled in this Capari Lip Glossy. This is in the shade Birthday Suit. I really just brought it in sheerly for the name, but I also did want to kind of compare it to my Bite French Press Lip Gloss, which is no longer available. And I must say, they're not really the same. The French Press one definitely has more opacity. It's a much thicker, heavy, not heavier, but like more full-on, full coverage kind of lip gloss in comparison to this one. This is very, very sheer and offers very little color payoff, but it still just makes my lips look nice and smooth and hydrated, and it definitely is such a beautiful product, but I wouldn't really compare the two. And then the last lip product was the Colourpop Lippy Pencil in the shade Brink. This was perfect paired with this Bare Minerals lip. These shades are just fabulous together. Actually, let me give you a swatch. I'm sorry I haven't been swatching anything. I'm kind of on a tiny bit of a time crunch. I always have class and work and stuff, so I'm trying to be a little bit quick, but this lip pairing was just so good. I should have worn the lip liner today. Oh well, I didn't, but this color combo, amazing. Brink pairs with so many of my lip products so well, so it was nice to just kind of bring that to the forefront and get some good use out of it. It is a shade that I enjoy and a formula that I really do like quite a lot. And when it comes to complexion products, I did pick out quite a few as well. I picked out a lot of cream products, and the first one was the Milk Matte Bronzer in the shade Baked. I love the way that this looks so much on my complexion. I am wearing it today, but I wore it very, very, very sheer. I wanted it to be more of like a blushy look, which is so not like me, but it's such a snowy, beautiful, like snowy day today, and I just wanted to have like these super blushy, like I just came in from the cold kind of look. In any case, this is a gorgeous formula, but the shade range is just trash. Let's just say that. They have two shades. They really do need to add some more undertones and more depth for sure throughout the range, but yeah, happy to have used that quite a bit this past month. It was a treat to reach for, and I do definitely enjoy it. I'm going to use it now that I have it in my collection, but I'm not going to necessarily recommend it because I do think that they do need to improve the shade range at the very least. And then I reached for this for the first time, finally, after having this in my collection for like at least a year. This is the Bite Multi-Stick in the shade Cashew. It's just a mini, and I wore this as a lipstick as well as a blush multiple times. It's so beautiful. I don't know why I had been kind of just sleeping on this product. I had it in my collection, but maybe just because it's so tiny, I just forgot that I had it. I'm really not sure why it was something that I overlooked, but do enjoy it. They don't have the multi-stick formula anymore, I believe, which is freaking Bite. Like, bring back all of your awesome products, please. But in any case, it was fun to play around with, and it was fun to just get to know something that's been in my collection for so long and I've just been overlooking. And then the other cream base product is this Hollywood Beauty Light Wand. This is in the shade Spotlight. This is by Charlotte Tilbury, by the way. I'm wearing this today, but then I do have another highlighter on top of it. This I didn't reach for all that much either. It's something that I kind of forgot about, that it was in my rotation, but the handful of times I did use it, I was definitely happy to be reaching for it, but it's not like the be-all end-all favorite highlighter in my collection. Personally, I do hear amazing things about this from other people. I just don't seem to have the same experience. It's kind of like, it's good. I like it. Like, it goes onto the skin very nicely. The shade is maybe a little bit too icy for my preferences, but it just doesn't wow me, you know? It doesn't wow me. I also reached for these two products. Actually, I don't know if I'd put this actually technically into my rotation, but this is the Bare Minerals Complexion Rescue in the shade Natural 05. I am still trying to finish this up. I had this in my Graveyard Project pan, and I still have yet to finish it up, so I'm still working on using it. So I ended up mixing it with this Becca. This is the Skin Love foundation in the shade Cashmere. Mixing these together, I can get my perfect shade match with like a light medium coverage. It's what I'm wearing today. I love it. I can definitely add a little bit more of Cashmere to amp up the coverage. I've been absolutely loving this combo together. It sits so nicely on the skin. I've worn this in several videos over the month of November, and I'm just so dang impressed with this combo. It's so good, and I'm just gonna keep this in my next rotation with the hopes of finishing this guy off. It's been lingering for so long and it feels like there's no product in here, but every day that I reach for this, it seems like so much product still comes out. So hopefully I can get it used up sooner than later, but this combo is just killer. It's been so nice. I love the way it feels on my skin. I love the way it looks on my skin, and I love that I can get like the literal perfect shade match for me. In addition to those, I've been using the Bare Minerals Mineral Veil Mini, and I did actually use this up this past month, which is great. And I've also been using the Smashbox Photo Finish Primerizer Primer Mini, and this is basically done. The lid is not on all the way because I struggled so much trying to get this lid off in order to get this last little bit of product out, so I didn't want to fully close it. So tomorrow I can actually maybe finish this off, or within the next couple days I can definitely finish this off. And I like this product. I wouldn't say it's a like absolute favorite of mine. I don't think it's like the holy grail of moisturizing bases, but it's a pretty good primer, and I have been loving reaching for it during this colder season where I'm at. I'm in Canada, so it has been snowy and cold lately. And then I've also been reaching for this, and my gosh, looking at it now, I'm like, okay, maybe I need to hold off on using this so much. This is the Pixi Glow Mist, and I now understand why this is so heavily raved about, or it was in the past at least. This is an amazing like setting spray, finishing spray kind of product, and you can see I've used up like almost half of it, and I've only had this in my collection since I believe September. So I have been using the heck out of this, but I love it. It feels so nice on my skin. It makes my skin look so happy and healthy, and yeah, I've just been loving it. It's a very addictive kind of product in my opinion as well, but I will be rotating something else in its place for this next rotation because I do not want to finish this up so soon. I want to savor it a little bit longer. And last two products, the last two items I've been using. This is the highlighter I'm wearing on top of that cream one from Charlotte Tilbury. This is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Amrezy highlighter. No longer available, but an absolute beauty. This is stunning. I mostly actually wore this as an inner corner highlight, or even as just like a center of my lid kind of shade for like a halo eye kind of application. And I've been wearing it on my cheeks, of course, too, but mostly just integrating it into eye looks because I love the way that this brightens up my eyes. I think it looks so good on the inner corner. There's far too much product to use this as exclusively an inner corner highlight, but yes, I love this. I love this so freaking much. And lastly is the e.l.f. Illuminating Palette. This was an item that I got as a gift with purchase, and I actually had randomly like selected it to go into my Shop My Stash for the month of October, I believe. And then I ended up rotating it into my November rotation because I was loving it so much, and I still am loving it. This is such a beautiful, beautiful little palette. And again, this was one of those products I was sleeping on. So thank you to my Shop My Stash for getting me to use up these kinds of products, not use up, but to reach for and use and love on the products that I already own. I personally have just been loving this shade right here. It's like the bronzy shade. And these are like a sheer, not shimmery, but glowy powder that you can use in so many different ways. This one, the way I've been loving it is after I've applied my bronzer, blush, and highlight on my face, I'll just take this on a duo fiber brush and kind of just meld all of my complexion products together, like my cheek color products, meld them all together with a duo fiber brush. And it just offers this most seamless, diffused, glorious look on the cheeks, and I cannot get enough of it. I'm not wearing it today, surprisingly. Just like I said, I want it to be more blushy, but oh, it's so good. It has been a true favorite of mine. And then this more kind of like yellowy, pale yellow shade, I love using this actually to blend out eyeshadow. If I've gone a little bit too patchy or a little bit too far up with my eyeshadow, I can just use this to kind of blend my brow bone and on my lower lash line and make everything look a little bit more seamless, a little bit more diffused. This whole little palette is so pretty and so fun to use actually, which I'm shocked by because I didn't really understand what it was capable of until only months ago, but I've been really keen on this palette. But That's everything that I had in my November rotation. A lot of products, and I feel like I was talking a little bit fast, but I am so excited to shop my stash for the month of December. So I'm going to go randomize some products now, and we are gonna jump on into my collection and pull those randomized products, as well as pull some new items to focus on and to reach into for the month of December. So let's just hop on into that. All right, so we're hopping into the first drawer of my makeup collection. And the first thing that I want to do is actually grab this. I put this up at the top here because I want to pull 2 shades to use in this little Colourpop magnetic palette, in addition to the 2 shadows that I'm working on in my Pan Those eyeshadows. Because currently I have 2 of these magnetic pans, the shade Stay Golden here and the shade Wait For It. They're currently in my Pan Those eyeshadows, so I want to curate a little palette, but I don't know what shades I want to focus on quite yet. So I'm going to pop these 2 into here. And then based on these 2 shades, they're kind of a bit more summery. So I want to pull something that feels a little bit wintry to go alongside these, and something that'll work with what I'm currently working on. So this I think would be really cute to pair in there. This is the Clionadh Cosmetics Cinnabar eyeshadow. This is a beautiful like cranberry purpley kind of shade. I think that'll be really fun in combination with those 2 shadows. And then I think in addition to that, I don't really want to pull like a bronzy sort of shade. I think I want to do this right here. I know this is maybe an odd pairing, but this is also by Clionadh Cosmetics. Actually, this is in the shade Rune. This is just a gorgeous like green golden kind of shadow, and I think it'll pair actually really fun with that peachy kind of shade. So I think this is going to be like my little kind of curated palette that I'm going to focus on for the next month. And in addition to those, I want to pull a couple things. This is one thing I definitely want to pull in. This is the Quo Beauty Brow Defining Gel, and this is in the shade Ash. I do want to just kind of get a bit more familiar with this. Definitely, I really enjoyed it on my first couple uses, so I want to just integrate it into my routine a little bit more. And then I did actually randomly select a couple products for this rotation. The first one that's up here is this one by Annabelle. This is the Waterline Matte, and I have this one in the shade Lavender, which is a pastel purple shade. Not really seasonal, but that's okay. I think it'll be a ton of fun to play around with, so I'm excited to integrate this into some looks in this coming month. I know that's a little light for this drawer, but that's going to be everything for this drawer. So we're going to hop on into the second drawer now, and it's not as nicely organized as maybe I'd like it to be, but it is what it is. So there were actually 2 lipsticks that I randomly drew. The first one was this one by Bite. This is a mini of the Amuse Bouche lipsticks, which are no longer available, unfortunately. And this one is in the shade Whiskey. This is a deep, dark, chocolatey brown kind of shade. And sorry for the focus. This is so beautiful, but I have neglected it quite a lot as of late. Recently I was thinking about this, so I'm happy that I'm going to pull this in and prioritize using it at least a handful of times this month and see how I feel about it, and hopefully it still is holding up okay. And actually in combination with that, I do want to then also just reach for this. This is the Bite lip pencil in the shade 044, which I did receive in addition to the lipstick. These came together in an Influencer box like 3 years ago, maybe? I'm not so sure, but these do pair perfectly together. That's why they came together in that little box, so I'm really looking forward to using these. And then I did actually randomize one other lipstick, and it was this one by NYX. This is the Filler Instinct. This is one of my newer lip products, actually. This is in the shade Beach Casual. Now, I say it's newer, but I've had it for about 7 months now. And it's a beautiful, just like very pale kind of peach shade. And it is really nice and comfortable. It does offer a little bit of a tingling sort of sensation. I think this is gonna be fun to pair with a variety of different looks over this coming month. And I do want to pull just one additional eyeshadow to focus on. I don't want to overwhelm myself though, but I need to pull this. This is just so perfectly holiday. This is the Fenty Beauty Galaxy Palette. It is just all sparkle and shimmer, and I need to use this in the month of December for sure. I'm actually wearing this shade as a nail polish topper, and I know my manicure ain't so cute anymore, but I was wearing it as a nail polish topper. It's so pretty. This palette is definitely like perfect for this time of year. Like how perfectly snowy is that blue shade. And like these just, I don't know, I think these are gonna be a ton of fun to play with, so I needed to roll this in, but it won't be something I'm prioritizing, but I do want to integrate these shadows into a handful of looks over the month. But otherwise, maybe I'll pull a lip gloss to work on. Maybe I'll pull this one. This is the Becca Glow Gloss, and this is in the shade Opal, and it's just, again, a nice like nude for me. It's a very like pink beige. And then let's hop on into my last drawer. This is a chaotic mess, but it is what it is. So the first thing I want to pull, actually I'll pull the things that I randomly drew. The first one is this, which is by Shared Planet. This is the Sea Turtle Highlighting Palette. This will be a lot of fun to integrate into looks. I even think this could be fun, kind of fun for festive looks, maybe either of these. I'll see. I haven't really played with these much on the cheeks. This one I have used, but these two I haven't yet used on the cheeks. I'm not sure. Perhaps. We'll see. We'll see what happens over this coming month. Honestly, this might be a little bit overexposed, but it is so dark in this little corner where my vanity is, so I do apologize. I hope this is okay though. And then the other item that was randomly selected is this, which I was going to pull anyway, so that worked out in my favor for sure. This is the Too Faced Hangover 3-in-1 Setting Spray. I was going to pull this because it's a nice, just hydrating, refreshing kind of setting spray and even like priming sort of spray for this time of year, especially when my skin is feeling much more dry than other times of year. So I was going to pull it anyway, perfect to rotate it in. And then I do want to pull this primer. This is the Ulla Henriksen Banana Bright Face Primer. I loved this when I first brought it into my collection. I feel like you can hear my cat running around, but I loved this when I first brought it into my collection, and then it's just kind of gone back into my collection to be, you know, not touched for the last at least 8 months, which is so unfortunate. So I want to rotate this in and just kind of refamiliarize myself with it, and hopefully I love it as much as I remember loving it. We shall see. We'll see how it goes. And I do want to pull actually this because this was in the Sephora birthday gift. I have not yet played around with it. This is the Milk Makeup Work Lip and Cheek little cream cheek product. What is it? A blush. Oh my gosh, what am I even saying? So I want to definitely pull for this and actually try this on my cheeks. I did swatch it once. The color does look pretty, but I want to actually see how it works on my complexion. I do think, oh, I'm having a hard time here. I know that for my Partners in Cream next year, I want to pan one of my cream highlighters, and it's not going to be this one because this is my newest one, but I think I want to try out the one, where is it? This little one, this Cover FX one. This might be something I want to actually pan next year, so I think I want to just rotate it in, see how I like it. This was a 100 point perk actually at Sephora, but this is the Cover FX Moonlight highlighting drops. And it's like a very, very light champagne kind of shade. I think it's going to work really well at this time of year, so I am really looking forward to giving this a try. I do want to pull in one of my powders as well. This one I think is actually the Peach Perfect. Let me smell it. Yes. Yes, this one is actually the Too Faced Peach Perfect. I do want to pull this in just to use it on my under eyes. And then I think that should be it. I think that should be it, but I kind of feel like I want to reach for something else. Maybe just one more thing to top off the focus products, you know what I mean? So I've got lots of highlighters I'm working on. I do have a blush I'm working on. You know what? I am only working on one bronzer right now, so maybe we'll pull in another bronzer. And I might pull this one right here because this has not gotten enough love for me yet. This is the Becca Sunlit Bronzer in the shade Capri Coast. This is a really great shade for me at this time of year. So I want to roll this in and kind of acquaint myself with it. But I do want to see how this performs on my complexion right now at this time of year. I haven't yet used it since actually the summertime. I probably haven't reached for this since the summer. So this will be really nice to work into my everyday kind of routine. And so that's going to be everything that's in my makeup collection. All the products I'm working on are these ones right here. So this is everything that I am shopping my stash for this coming month. It added up very quickly, actually. Looks like a lot of products, but it's going to be a lot of fun to integrate these into some looks for the month of December. Thank you so much for coming and shopping my stash with me. That is absolutely everything for today's video. Thank you so much for watching and for hanging out with me, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, everyone.